The exclusive sewing advisor is a Husqvarna Viking staple. You find it on most of their machines from years ago, and it is wonderful. Now, the reason you want to make sure you use it with this machine is because it does so many things, including adjusting the pressure of the foot. So let's talk about what it is. This little sewing machine up in the top corner here, when you touch it, and whatever is up here was what the last setting is. So when I don't know what to leave it at, I leave it at woven medium, which is setting B. So when you touch the sewing machine, you get two options. You get column for the fabric, and then we also have a column for the technique that you're working on. This is like having your own little sewing teacher right at your fingertips. So if you are working on like a satin fabric, something lightweight but woven, you'll select fabric A. If you go over to the technique, you can tell it what you're doing. You're sewing a seam. When you come out of here, arrowed back, you will find that it will say woven light, seam, and it will take you to the stitch you need. Now this took me to a straight stitch, which is what I was on, but look at the stitch length. It is at a shorter stitch length, which for finer fabrics, that's what you want to do. So for example, if we go to a woven heavy, like a denim fabric, canvas fabric, and we select seam as well, look at the stitch length. The stitch length is 3. It also tells me to switch to a B presser foot, a larger 90 needle, and if anything needed to change, the tension can change here as well. So let's keep going. Let's talk about stretchy fabric. How about a knit fabric? Maybe you're not used to working on knit fabrics a lot. This is really where it's going to come in. If you've ever stitched a knit and it comes out wavy, this is going to solve the problem. Let's say fleece, stretch heavy, technique, seam. Let's go back. Let's see what stitch it actually picked for us. So it selected stitch 2, which is the stretch stitch. Recommends a B presser foot. The tension's normal. The settings have been changed, and the needle position is, yes, that is actually moved over. That's the default setting of that stitch there. The stretch 90 needle is recommended, and you probably don't see it on this screen, but the pressure has been reduced. So instead of it coming out wavy, it's going to come out flat because the foot is not pressing down as hard on the fabric and stretching it out. It's more like going to hover over your fabric and glide over it. So this is great. Now the only thing is if you turn the machine off, we're done sewing with fleece, and tomorrow we come back and we turn it on and we just start sewing on a regular cotton fabric. Though it comes up with a regular stitch number 1, because it's not noted as a seam, it is left on stretch heavy, which means the foot is not pushing down as heavy against the fabric. So it might not give you the same results. Stitch length is 3 because it was a heavier fabric. So make sure, if you're unsure, go back to woven medium, kind of that nice neutral. Now let's look at some of these other techniques. You have an overcast seam, and this will change, or overcast stitch. This will change based on your fabric you're working with. Just because it says, and this is the stitch for woven medium, that is going to change for different stitches, like for a stretchy fabric. It will change to something different. There we go. So, and different feet, different settings for each of the stitches. So again, back to techniques, steaming and overcast, basting stitch. Now I know we don't probably baste a lot, but let's just do a woven medium and baste. But look what it does is it reduces the tension of the basting stitch. The basting stitch is the length of 6 long, obviously, so it can pull out. But this reduction of the tension is wonderful because when you do go to pull it out, all you have to do is pull on one line of thread and woof, out it comes. It's fabulous. And let's see here, techniques, blind hem, easy. So if you don't remember which stitch is the blind hem, use the sewing advisor, tell it what fabric you're working on, and then when you come out, the stitch is already picked for you. Oh yeah, that's right, and I needed the blind hem foot, which is foot letter D. Everything is set up and you're ready to sew. Last one, or last couple techniques here, just a regular hem and buttonhole. So buttonholes recommended for different fabrics are great, and that definitely will be the right buttonhole. Since you have so many to pick from, how would you know which one to pick once you actually are have the fabric in your hand? This one we set up for a stretch medium fabric. A buttonhole is recommended to be corded. Check out our buttonhole video and we'll show you how to cord that buttonhole correctly for this type of stretchy fabric. So remember, use your sewing advisor. When you turn off the machine, it will clear out the technique, but it will remember your last fabric. So just go ahead, remember, when you're unsure, go back to woven medium, and then go ahead and just pick the stitch that you want. So if you're just going back to a straight stitch, you're ready to go.